Hi friends, my name's Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming at you with my Hispanic Heritage Month book recommendations. It is a little bit late. I am filming this on September 23rd and Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated from September 15th through October 15th. So this is the first year that I'm late and I am so sorry. I've been wanting to film this for a while, but I just haven't found the time. So yeah, I'm going to be recommending those some books to read during Hispanic Heritage Month. If you don't know, I do this video every year, so there are two other Hispanic Heritage Month book recommendations, and I kept all the books different. So if you go watch those back, there's a whole bunch of different books recommended in those videos. So yeah, if you don't see anything that it's kind of like a backlist title and I don't mention it, it's probably mentioned in one of those videos. So yes, I do have two sections. So the first section is books that I've read, and the other section are books that I'm interested about or that I'm going to be reading sometime soon, most likely during Hispanic Heritage Month. So I'm just going to get started. And first off, I want to talk about a book that I read recently for book club, and that is Violeta by Isabel Allende. And this is a historical fiction novel. In my mind, it's set in Chile, but the author actually never specifies where the book is set. But I just assume that because Isabel Allende is from Chile. She has a ton of books out there, so she has a really long backlist. But basically, like I said, this is a historical fiction and it follows our main character Violeta, and you follow her throughout her whole life. It is very Evelyn Hugo-esque. There are some war aspects in there. So yeah, it is the Great War. So it does follow that, the Great Depression, and a ton of different things. I loved all the characters in this novel, and yeah, I really liked it. So yeah, like I said, historical fiction, and I would give it a try. The next book I have is You Don't Have a Shot by Racquel Marie. I have featured other Racquel Marie books in these type of videos before, and this one is a queer book and it is young adult, and it's basically, I forget that one movie because I've never seen it, but it does have to do with soccer, and these two girls are like each other's like nemesis, and obviously they're gonna catch feelings. So yeah, it's really cute. They're very competitive, and like it's like enemies to lovers. I really liked it. It's high school coming of age. It's a great novel. I truly love Racquel Marie. So yeah, I would give this one a shot as well. You Don't Have a Shot. Yes. The next one I have, I believe I read this, yes, I read this year, and this is probably my favorite, one of my favorite books from this year, and that is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This is a romance book. Abby Jimenez's like romance novels are everything, and this is sort of a medical romance. Both of our main characters are doctors, and our main female character, whose name is Brianna, she is just going through a divorce, and this book is so hard-hitting. I have to read it again. It has the letter trope. It's really wholesome and cute, and just the love that we all want and deserve, of having that love that does its best to not hurt the other person. It has a lot of anxiety representation, and I truly love this book so much. So yeah, I would give it a try during Hispanic Heritage Month. The next book I have is How to Not Drown in a Glass of Water by Angie Cruz. And this one follows our main character, Cara Romero, and this is through the Great Recession. So she currently doesn't have a job. She's an older woman. I believe she is in her mid-50s. She loses her job, and this whole book, it's pretty short. It's told in the format of interviews with her, not a social worker, but I guess a job counselor, and the whole story is told in those job counselor interviews that she has. And there's also other formats, like other little applications that she does, and it's so hard-hitting. It's so funny. You know, you learn so much about Cara, about her family and her life, and she had a really rough life growing up. So yeah, I truly love this one. I also read this for book club and I loved it, loved the writing. I would definitely recommend the audiobook. It is in the format of interview. It sounds like a podcast to me. So yeah, it's a really, really quick read. Truly enjoyed this one. Definitely recommend it. The next one I don't have with me. I don't know where it is. But the next one is Witchlings by Claribel Ortega. This is a middle grade fantasy series. The second book's already out, but I have not read it yet, and I would recommend this. If you like Amari and the Night Brothers, I would recommend this book. And this one follows the three witchlings, and they're basically outcasted. I can't really say why, it's kind of a spoiler, but basically they have to go through these trials and things and kind of band together in order to be able to earn their full powers, otherwise they won't become witches. So yeah, it's really, really cute. I loved it. I can't wait to read the next one, and yeah, love this one too. The next one that I'm going to recommend is The House in the Pines by Ana Reyes. I read this is the first book that I read this year. This is a mystery, a thriller novel, and from what I remember, our main character, she is a drug addict, which, well, not a drug addict. She becomes addicted to these pills that she's on, and she's going through withdrawals and all these things, and it's very, her as the main character is very, very unreliable, so it makes the story even better. And basically there's this YouTube video that features, like in the video, her ex-boyfriend is in it. And basically in this YouTube video, her ex-boyfriend's there, and he's sitting in a diner, and he's sitting across this other woman, and this woman just drops dead in the middle of the diner. And she believes that he killed this woman because the exact same thing happened to her best friend when she was with this man. So she has to go back home and figure out what's going on so that doesn't happen to anyone else. But yeah, it has great, great history. I believe she's from Guatemala. I totally forget specifically which country, but it has a lot of really cool Guatemalan or whatever country, I'm so sorry, I can't remember, but it has great folklore and stories. I believe it was her dad who was Hispanic, and I just remember really, really loving that aspect of the book. So yeah, I really, really like this one. It was one of my favorites of this year as well. Alright, the next section of books are books that I have not read, and the first one that I have is The Last Sunrise in Eterna by Amparo Ortiz. This one is set in Puerto Rico, which I'm so excited about. I don't get to read too many young adult books that are set in Puerto Rico and are also fantasy. I feel like a lot of the Puerto Rican fiction that is out there, it's a lot about like the struggles and the grief and like immigration and all these things, and I don't get to read a lot of fun stuff about Puerto Rican characters, so this one's so exciting. So like I said, this is young adult set in Puerto Rico, and this follows three teenagers that are invited to spend 7 days on a secluded island floating off the coast of Puerto Rico to learn the magic of elves. So this is about like fae and all of that, and it follows 17-year-old Sevim Burgos, and she does not like elves. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this and just get to read more fun stuff by Puerto Rican authors with Puerto Rican main characters. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this one soon. The next one that I have is Viva, Lola, Espinoza by Ella Ceron, and this is a debut. This is young adult romance, and it says on here, a debut young adult novel that's book smart with a dash of magic about a Mexican-American teen who spends the summer in Mexico City, meets two very cute boys, attempts to learn Spanish, and uncovers a family secret that changes her life forever. Cute. I'm really excited to read this. It does say some magical realism in here as well, so I'm really excited about this novel as well. The next book that I have was sent to me by Penguin Random House in the Penguin Teen category, and that is Suddenly a Murder by Lauren Muñoz. And this is a young adult mystery, and basically this group of friends, our main character Izzy, she's throwing a 1920s themed party at this like manor, and all of her friends are invited, and then her best friend's boyfriend ends up dead during this party, so everyone's a suspect, and they can't leave this manor until the mystery is resolved. Super excited. It seems very Clue-esque. and I love me a good young adult mystery, so I'm really excited to read this one. The next book I have is by my queen, Elizabeth Acevedo, and that is Family Lore. If you know me, you know that I love Elizabeth Acevedo. I've read all of her work until this one. I still have to read this one. This is her first adult book. From what I have been told, this also has some magical realism elements in it, and this one is all to do with family. I read the first like 50 pages or so, and it has to do with their grandmother, basically the matriarch of this family, and she's trying to plan her own funeral while she's still alive because she wants to plan like this huge party. I haven't read too much after that. It does remind me of The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina because it's very much that premise of the funeral for the matriarch of the family. Yeah, I'm really excited. I just met Elizabeth Acevedo yesterday and I heard her talk about this book and it got me even more excited. She read from it as well and it's so beautiful. I want to listen to the audiobook as well because Elizabeth does all of her audiobooks, so yeah, I'm really excited. Next up, I have a book that I'm reading with Kayla from Books and Lola for her Literary Dead Book Club, and that is Mosntrilio by Gerardo, Samano, Cordova. And every time that I talk about this book, I have no idea what this book's about because I just agreed to do this. I remember reading the synopsis and I was like, cool, I'll read it. But I don't remember anything. I know this is horror, but for the first time, I'm going to look in the inside and read what this is about. So it says in the inside here, I don't know where to put this so you can see the cover. Anyway, you can tell it's Mosntrilio. It says, after her son Santiago dies, Magos carves out a piece of his lung to save her herself. Oh my god. Here we go. Acting on fierce maternal instinct and the Dubois logic of an old folk tale, she nurtures the lung until it gains sentience. Oh my god. Growing into the carnivorous little Mosntrilio she keeps hidden within the walls of her decaying childhood home in Mexico City. Wow. Eventually, Mosntrilio begins to resemble the Santiago he once was with the help of his father's sensitive guidance, his parents' closest friends, conflicted support, and of course, Mago's own unwavering loyalty. But despite this family's best efforts to turn the monster they created into a man, Mosntrilio's innate impulses threaten to destroy his fragile second chance at life. Oh my god. A thought-provoking meditation on grief, acceptance, and the monstrous side of love, Gerardo Samano Cordova's ambitious debut blends bold imagination and evocative prose with deep emotional rigor. Told in 4 acts that span the globe from Brooklyn to Berlin, Mosntrilio offers with uncanny clarity a cathartic and precise portrait of being human. I am so stoked for this now. I don't think I remember that this is what this was about, but I'm so excited now. Alright, I have 2 more books for y'all as recommendations, and the first one I have is Vampires of el Norte by Isabel Cañas. Isabel Cañas wrote The Hacienda a couple years ago. I read it. I really liked it. And this one is set, I always forget the time era. So it is 1840s, so the 1800s. And this is vampires and vaqueros, which means cowboys, and that they face off in the Texas-Mexico border in this supernatural western. I'm so excited. This gives me like all of the Jasper from Twilight backstory vibes. So yeah, it's 1800s, vampires, western, cowboys. I need it all right now. I'm so excited. Alrighty, and the last book, oh my god! All the books as well. Oh, my poor little books. Why does something like this always happen in every video? The last book that I have for y'all as a recommendation is Silver Nitrate by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. I also love me a really good Silvia Moreno. This one, oh my gosh, I forget the time frame. This is a historical fiction horror novel that has to do with the film industry, and from what I'm aware, it's about like a haunted film set. So you know, your girl is super excited about that. So this one's set in the 90s Mexico City film industry. I am so excited for this one too. It says on here, a fabulous meld of Mexican horror movies and Nazi occultism, a dark thriller about the curse that haunts a legendary lost film and awakens one woman's hidden powers. And I love this cover too. It's so cool. Alrighty, well those were all of the recommendations that I had for y'all today for Hispanic Heritage Month. I truly hope that you got some recommendation, that you found out about a new book, something interesting out of this. If you want even more recommendations, I'm gonna leave linked below my past 2 Hispanic Heritage Month recommendation videos. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!